Let me tell you about Martin. Martin's one of the brightest guys you're likely to meet. Only the odds are you won't meet him because he doesn't do much socializing, really. His observations are piercing. And you know, it's not just the books he reads or the science he knows so well, or the art of creating ingenious video games, some of which you probably haven't heard of. He's an original thinker, an amazing focus. But one of the things that Martin has never worked out is how to balance well enough between the social and intellectual functions as a human being. Let's journey now to a different planet. This, Martin tells me, is a place where he can easily tap into his own creative juices. Imagine you're living in a distant place. It might be an ancient past or a mind-blowing future, hundreds of years from this present day. Science has advanced at a compounded rate. In technology, the possibilities are endless. Time's not a factor. All that lays ahead is a new frontier. So choose your vehicle. Is it a spaceship, a magic carpet, or a banshee? Whatever your choice is, it's just perfect. I'm going with the banshee. He's waiting for you to say goodbye now to all of the people you love. You will be back real soon. You're all geared up and just about to mount. And as a last thought, you remember there's something you must take with you. And there it is. It appears right before you. There seems to be no apparent reason to take it, but you sense it's something that you want very much to have with you. So you mount and are now on your way. And as he makes his way out through the clearing among the dense trees, you can envision a forest or a jungle where your banshee has been hidden away from the prying eyes of those in the castle. You now have a 360-degree view of the surrounding area. Enjoy the sense of speed, the power, and the freedom. Imagine how good it feels to look down on the stars, to pass the moon, to know your banshee is equipped to take you anywhere you want to go. Relax and enjoy the experience. This is what Martin loves to do, to enjoy his own company and living in his own world. We're like another species to him. He studies us with such curiosity. It's almost as though he doesn't seem to realize that he's one of us, which is fine if you're looking for dazzling insights or a glimpse of beneath the surface of reality. But if you're hoping for a friend you can introduce to other people as a cool dude, hoping he'll wow them with charisma, then he's not your guy. The most simple, everyday interaction with other people is something that can be off the map for him. And that's kind of frustrating, you know, because I know who Martin is. And he's a really good guy. I really value the one-on-one time we have together, the quality of his thinking. And when you do get to know him, it's easy to see he's got way more to offer than a lot of people who have a gift with people, who ooze charisma and happen to be more socially adept, but so superficial. Problem is, Martin doesn't have or value social skills. It's almost like they're just about grooming rituals to him. And, well, after all, you know what? He's better than us monkeys, right? And to some extent, he's right. For many socialites, it's about making sure they don't say or do the wrong thing or rock the boat, you know? Martin is really curious about what could be, especially in the scientific world. He's a little quiet, shy even, conventional, and a dedicated researcher. He's interested in finding the truth, not convenience. And for him, if that means he lives as a hermit a lot of the time, then so be it. So how do you make yourself of value to a world where you're not convinced society has value? Interesting question, isn't it? There came a point in Martin's life, however, he was approaching 30, when he felt like he was going under. He'd done well academically, of course, but wasn't getting ahead or finding work that suited his expertise. I recall he shared with me on more than one occasion how he was surrounded by half-wits in the IT department he worked at. Most of them get by with half a brain, as he put it. And they were getting ahead, sometimes by repeating things they'd heard Martin say. The difference was they said them to the right people, in the right way, at the right time. Now, like a lot of things, it comes down to caring. Martin's a profoundly rational guy, and he recognized that in order for him to demonstrate the truth of his thinking, he needed to put it into action and show people who never grasped the beauty of his ideas that they weren't just interesting, but were remarkable, ingenious, and could totally change the way we do things in our world. So in his own way, Martin became an entrepreneur. He had some radical ideas about software, and he went out there and he put those ideas into practice. Now, that wasn't easy for him. Martin's brilliance was never in question, without a doubt. At least to people who listened to him, who took time to listen to what he was saying. But he needed to broadcast his ideas to the world. And doing that meant listening to other people too. His software concepts and innovations were spectacular, but he didn't have much of a clue about marketing them. He initially mistakenly assumed people would go for what he knew was better. Well, if you've ever been in business, then you know all too well they don't. So he had to work with people who knew how to market it in a big way. His software had a real edge, and the market needed to know that. But how? It's not easy always, because like all new business and product, there are many new ideas out there, and everyone claims theirs to be the best, latest, and greatest. Well, it wasn't too long before Martin's software was embraced with open arms, and his market share grew quite quickly. And that meant he had to employ more people. To keep the innovation happening, he knew that meant developing his people skills. And he did that in a very Martin way by doing some personal development courses. What he got from these courses wasn't what he expected. Yeah, of course he got some skills, things he could do to achieve results. But more than that, Martin learned to just trust himself to be okay. To see that he didn't need to offer insightful critiques when he should step back and listen to what other people have to say and react from that emotional place. That, more than anything, is what Martin has learned. It's a little bit like he landed on the planet he wanted to visit, where it was safe, and he landed easy. When he dismounted, it was a place he had never been before. Not that he can remember, at least. And so too can you. That item you brought with you, what was it? How did it serve you? Take some time to write some notes on what you see, hear, and feel with this experience. And then what happens? What does your animal do? You see, we all, like Martin, can live and enjoy this wonderful world. Be that reality or imagined. He didn't need to abandon it totally. What he remembers most about his experience is that once he was like a brain in a jar, and now he's comfortable in his own skin, trusts his feelings as well as valuing his intellect. To anyone who's only known him in recent years, they won't get that. They just see a super bright, friendly guy who's successful. But for those of us who've been there long term, we're proud to know someone who's turned his insight into something that sustains him in the real world. And he and his whole team enjoy the respect they deserve. So what's your story? Does this resonate with you in some way? If you're a puzzle solver, researcher, thinker, investigator, observer, a sage, come along and join us. Become the master of your own emotions, perceptions, and internal processing. Join the Personal Power, Passion and Purpose Weekend event. It is self-development in its finest form. Explore a whole new power at a different dimension. And you too can learn how archetypes in the Enneagram represent the different ways we think, act, and understand our world. Give me a call, send me an email, or go to the website dashboardoflife.com.au. Thanks for your time.